Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Hello, Dan. The Reds keep marching on.
They do.
Well, that's enough for us from this week.
Thank you. Have a good Easter.
What another triumph.
Yeah.
Exeter City away
Can I
to
just
Carlisle.
start with a quick correction?
Yes, please.
Last week, I told an anecdote about how I saw nobody pay any attention to the band Elbow at Reading Festival.
Yes.
And I remembered that it actually wasn't them. It wasn't Elbow. It was Doves.
Easy mistake.
It is an easy mistake to make. Now, don't get me wrong. I think, it's an understandable mistake because no one would be applauding or paying any attention to Elbow either because they're terrible. They are terrible.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to put that out in case anyone went to Reading 2002 and was thinking, that didn't happen. That was Doves. But anyway, I still hate Elbow. So, sorry, that's all I wanted to say there.
It sounds like some sort of carpenter's ailment, doesn't it? I've got the old doved elbow.
It does, yeah. It sounds like a joint.
Yeah.
A joist.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a joint and a joist?
I don't know.
Okay.
Does a joist hold things up?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there we are.
So who's the joist in this Exeter City side?
I think it's Sam
Sam
Stubbs.
Stubbs.
And who's the joint doing exciting things on the turn?
Giovanni?
Giovanni.
Yeah.
Exeter City went to Brunton Park,
Yes.
the furthest of all the parks,
Home of Carlisle United.
and it's a long old poke, as they say.
Team got in a bit of trouble getting there, didn't they?
The coach got in a bit of trouble. Matt Taylor lambasted himself, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think he was just sort of generally saying we could do with 2 bus drivers.
But was he blaming himself?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
If you've missed it, listeners, Matt Taylor gave an interview after the game.
I think he was saying he obviously as manager takes ultimate responsibility, but I think he still wanted to point it out.
Yeah.
I think you should do though. I mean, that's good. That probably means we get 2 bus drivers. You remember what happened with the pitch?
Yeah.
So
Is Taylor suggesting he wants someone to pay for his HGV licence, and he would have?
I don't reckon he'd mind. Like, if that was the option, I think he would do it.
He'd do it.
That's the sort of guy he is.
Is the sort of guy he is. Anyway, he told a kind of tale of misfortune and woe and also calamity and hilarity on the way to the game.
So they had to stop off in Birmingham for a little training session.
Which they were always planning.
Yeah, and then after that, they hit a load of traffic
Yeah.
on the M6.
Yeah.
And
Grand National was on, of course.
Grand National.
Yeah.
And then they had to stop at a service station and eat a load of KFC and Subway for dinner.
You know that they were thinking of changing the Queen's name to Grand National.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandma National.
Grandma National. Instead, they went with Your Majesty.
There's another band, The National.
Oh,
I
yeah.
put them kind of in the same bracket.
Yeah, they are in the same bracket.
They're sort of a modern day version of Elbow or Doves. Is it Doves or The Doves?
It's just Doves, singular.
Okay.
Dan, picture the scene. You're at a service station. You got to play a football match in 12 or so hours.
Yeah.
What are you eating?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean,
I wouldn't go for either of those options.
I don't think I would. There's other. That's what I was thinking. There's other stuff. You go to that canteen bit, don't you?
Yeah, you go to that canteen bit and ask for egg and chips.
There's always a canteen bit. Go there, or if not, like fill up on kind of like cold snacks from the Marks and Spencers or the
You'd never get a Ginsters though, would you?
W.H. Smiths, whatever. Never get against us.
Although we can soon, our self-imposed embargo on Ginsters can be released.
I mean, to be honest, I was only about 50% to do with them being sponsored by Argyle and 50% it down to just that's not food.
No. Do you ever feel like you've eaten a bit of it and you think like this is a bit too much like cardboard, and you've swallowed the cardboard packaging with it? You never really noticed.
I mean, you'd never know.
You'd never
I've probably
know.
done it countless times without realising. I remember once back when I was a meat eater.
Yeah.
I had a Ginsters once, and I bit into this thing which had some sort of meat in it, and it was like biting into a bouncy ball.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So Matt J's filled up on that. I'm with you. I fear of being mocked by my teammates. I'd get some nice bread and some olives.
Would you?
Yeah.
Out of the two, I suppose maybe if I ate chicken, it would be KFC.
Would it?
I don't know. At least it's sort of like that's what they say, protein in it or something. I don't
Of course, Subway famously in Ireland can no longer be described as bread. It's got
Right.
too much sugar in it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't describe it as food, really, Subway. It's like, I don't know, just like, I'm getting heartburn thinking about it.
Well, fair enough. Anyway, the players, because of this predicament, found themselves eating on that. Matt Taylor also said team bonding was increased because of some of the things they saw.
Yeah, it's things you'd never want to see again.
Got any theories?
Well, I don't know. I guess, like you said, it's probably revellers from the horse racing.
Yeah, I think it's an arse sticking out of a bush. Gone over.
Highly likely, yeah.
Some man's gone full Porky Pig. For listeners, if you don't know, it means his trousers and pants around his ankles.
Porky Pig, just like, no bottoms, but
But he's still got his suit on.
But top half
He's still
on.
wearing a top hat. From
Also
the
known
races.
as Kid at the Beach.
Yeah. He's doing a wee in the bushes because he's boozed right up and over he's gone. Maybe helped by an Exeter City player.
Yeah.
Giovanni's giving him a shove.
What else? Probably somebody puked into that.
Not the wishing well.
The charity thing.
No,
that
not
you
the
put
wishing well.
You put the coin in and it kind of like spirals down into the hole. I think someone's puked into that.
Yeah.
They still have those?
Yeah.
Right.
Someone's fallen asleep on the vibrating chair.
Yeah.
Definitely that's happened.
I think probably 2 revellers having it away on the vibrating chair. Something I
Is
never
one of
want
them
to see
asleep?
again.
Maybe don't want to dwell on that.
One wearing a fascinator.
Good Lord. Anyway, Taylor wasn't very impressed, as you can imagine. He's not a reveller.
Nope. I don't know.
He's a 1-pint man.
Nah.
He's a 5-pint man.
There's been many an account.
We've seen the
of
photos.
Matt Taylor on a night out.
He's got that look in his eye.
Yeah. Anyway, we got there.
We got there.
And a football match took place.
And 300 and so...
400. 404 or something, or 407.
Away supporters made it.
Yep.
Hats off.
Fascinators off.
Yeah, I would doff my fascinator to you, sir and madam. Anyway, you made it, and you were highly rewarded. City were all over them first half. Certainly first half of the first half, by all accounts.
Yes. Yeah, we were completely outplaying them.
Zanzala had a very good chance.
He
Tackling
did.
last minute.
So the only team change was Matt J back in for Callum Rowe.
Yep.
Having, he's had a week off and, just keeping everyone hungry. And I thought some of his link-up play led to a couple of really good... The 2 best chances we had were from lovely little touches from Matt J, including the one for the Zanzala chance very early on. I think probably, he's not quite the mercurial finisher you would needed to be to put that chance away.
No.
He took a touch. Someone like, I don't know, a Premier League quality player or, a more kind of like...
Raheem's getting that one in, isn't he?
Yeah, they'd have hit it first time. A top-class striker would have hit that first time and would have scored. And it would have been a really good goal if it had gone in. He took a touch, the defender gets across. But we're all over him, and that's early. So you're thinking, okay, this is looking okay. And then we can't really... There's a few other chances first half. But we get to the break 0-0. And, still fairly optimistic for the second half at that point. But then it did take a while.
Well, that's an understatement. It took more than a while. It took the entire game.
Yeah. Second half, we couldn't find much in the final third. Obviously defended really well.
Carlisle are in good form, aren't they, under their new manager?
They are, yeah. And when they came back, and they scored a lot of goals, right? Is that them? Anyway, I might be getting confused with someone else. Anyway, they are in good form, and but we dealt with everything they had to throw at us, including throwing ourselves at the ball. At one point, there was about 5 of us on our defenders on the floor, as this guy sort of tries to kind of...
He's doing the old Giovanni, isn't he? 1 foot, next foot.
Yeah. And but we managed to keep him out. They have a few corners. We keep all them out. Not a huge amount for Dawson to do. He does make one good save, I think.
Yeah. So hats off to Matt Taylor, because we've said this before, but on the hour, just before, in fact, he swaps Zanzala, not for Phillips, but for Amond.
Yeah, we haven't seen him on for a little while.
No, he was injured for a bit, wasn't he? And then he hasn't come back in straight away.
But he has played. He came on in one of the matches before the Newport game, which he was then ineligible for.
That's right.
And and just show him what he's. It's a great substitution, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
he made some more.
Kind of
as well.
lost count of the amount of times Taylor's made kind of match-winning substitution this season. I feel like it's a lot.
Well, it's the exact opposite of last year, isn't it? Where he didn't really make any.
Yeah, it is, and that was. I mean, it's easy to say it's the right one afterwards, but it was, and Amon comes on, and as we can see by the end, he offers something a little bit different there.
Yeah, so Amon came on for the hour, and then Sparks goes off, and Caprice comes on, and Coley comes on for Jay. That's with about 15 minutes to go.
10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and still trying to. At that point, I think when Caprice comes on, we start to get a little bit more of an impetus. Not that Jack Sparks has a really good game again, but just kind of, I think, just fresh legs down that
And a change,
left-hand
isn't it?
side.
A different kind of crossing.
Change. Josh Coley again looked good with the ball at his feet, running at the defence. And then it finally came. We had a couple of corners towards the end. First one, Dieng had a couple of good chances, but one of them was a header from the corner. He had another one earlier on, which Matt Jay was involved in again, with a lovely little layoff, and the keeper makes a really good save there. And then we had another corner, 87th minute. Archie Collins, ball into the back post. Dieng on the end of it, just nods it back across goal, and then into the 6-yard box. Amon there with
absolute crouch, wasn't it?
I mean, that's a fox in the box. An Irish fox in the. Do they have foxes in Ireland?
Certainly do.
They definitely do, don't they?
Yeah.
An Irish fox in the box.
Yeah.
And
everyone goes mad.
Yes, Pierce Sweeney's got someone's cap on. Everyone's going bananas.
Yeah. What we didn't see was Cameron Dawson wore someone's fascinator.
Yeah.
He pulled it out. He nicked it from on the way to Aintree.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't know why, because obviously, just because it took a long time, we've had a lot of late winners and kind of again, but I was just I was so het up. I don't know why. I was just really kind of tense. And then when that goal went in, it was just it was like a real physical release. Do you know what I mean? And I just kind of lost it for a few seconds. I literally just lost it on my own.
Did you?
I punched my bed.
I tell you what happened in my house. The radio cut out. Honestly, they scored and then it just went.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, they were having trouble with the old
I was having a lot of trouble.
Audio.
I was because, I mean, they confirmed the goal, and obviously we're not VAR reliant in League Two. So I was like, well, I'm pretty sure it's a goal. They've said it's a goal, but then it's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to. So I put on Final Score. I put on Sky Sports News. It's not coming up, and I was like, what's going on? Texting you lot. 1-0.
1-0. And then we just saw out the last minute by kind of keeping it in the last few minutes, keeping it in the corner, basically. I think maybe we did give away a corner as the very last thing that happened.
Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, another 3 points at the death. Another one chipped off.
Yep, that's right.
And then just getting closer and closer, firmly in second place.
So some other results. We just got to keep winning, haven't we?
There's a few draws. What, Northampton drew, right?
Northampton drew with Bradford. Forest Green drew with Hartlepool.
Yeah.
Port Vale won. And Mansfield thumped Scunthorpe 4-0.
Yeah.
Sutton won. Newport beat Swindon. Tranmere and Bristol Rovers drew, which is quite a big one. So it was just getting it done, wasn't it? And they did get it done magnificently. And as we've said,
by hook or by crook.
Yeah, it's that, isn't it? Because we're not at full strength. We know we're missing certain players on certain parts of the field, but we're making it happen.
Yeah, we are. People stepping up as well, and I really think it's so important having that rock solid defence.
Yeah.
Of the current rock solid lineup of Sweeney, Stubbs, and Hartridge.
Diabate's not even played for a while now.
No, he hasn't played for ages, and he was.
Brilliant.
He didn't put a foot wrong, did he? But when he was called upon, and I think it comes from there. I mean, I think that gives everyone confidence. Archie Collins again, I thought was really good on the ball. Dawson, of course, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's just another win in that manner, another 1-0 away win, leaving it late. It's just it's dramatic, isn't it?
It's certainly dramatic. It doesn't help when your radio cuts out. Honestly, I was going. The same thing happened to me in the playoff semi-finals when Logan scored the penalty. Exactly the same thing. The radio just went. This is a repeat. That was pre-iFollow, of course.
That's some Argyle fan in it working for Radio Devon.
In it just taking a dump in the system.
They're just like, when the goal goes in, they just pull a couple of leads out, don't they?
Dirty.
Just in like...
Yeah.
I mean, they might take a dump as well, but I mean, I think
definitely do.
in the moment, they just go like, pulling those out. They don't want, just angry.
Do you think there's loads of Argyle fans having to just chuck out loads of Ginsters they got in the freezer?
Yeah, probably, yeah. They probably all stockpile them, don't they?
Definitely.
Plymouth people.
That's what they're like.
Yeah. Having Ginsters for breakfast, lunch and tea.
That's right. Egg for one of them Scotch eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
Pasty for lunch.
Pasty for tea.
Pasty for tea. Honestly, sort yourselves out. Anyway.
If there's anyone in Plymouth who doesn't do that, I'd like to know about it because I suspect that there's none.
It's entirely what's happening.
Yeah.
So that is that for the week. More about what that means in a second. Welcome back to the Big Bank Theory podcast. You can get in touch with us in all the normal ways on Twitter at Big Bank Pod, on Facebook, the Big Bank Theory podcast, and you can email us as well, bigbankpod@gmail.com. Don't come in with your late season prediction answers. They won't be accepted.
No, you can't do that now.
Can't do that now. It's nearly May.
Yep. And also they probably announced the Player of the Year soon.
It's end of April, the award, isn't it?
Right, because voting's been taking place. Have you voted?
I haven't voted yet. I'm torn. I'm honestly torn.
Yeah, well, it's I'd say it's probably it's almost a 3 or 4 way split, I'd say.
I tell you my thoughts.
Yep.
Brown, obviously.
Yep.
Dieng.
Yep.
Dawson.
Yep.
Sweeney.
Yeah. I think those are the 4. Sam Stubbs. These are the caveats for me. Sam Stubbs, obviously,
if he played the whole season.
But he's only played literally half the season.
Yeah,
so only ruling him out on that. Dawson, he's on loan.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
That just kind of like does something to it for me.
What if I vote for him and he wins and he's like, actually, I'm going to stay here?
Well, yeah.
I don't think that's...
Is that how it works?
I have no idea.
And then I'll show my hand, actually. I voted for Giovanni Brown, but here's my justification. It was a difficult one, obviously. Mm-hmm. Afterwards, I've kind of like thought, should I swap this for Sweeney? Because I do think he deserves it.
Yeah.
But it's just it's the consistency of that they've both stayed in the side the whole time. And Dieng, I know it's only because of injury, but he's missed a fair bit here and there. And I just think Giovanni Brown, even right back at the beginning of the season where we weren't scoring goals and stuff, I think he's always kind of looked.
Yeah.
So he got my vote this year.
I mean, it shows how consistent they've been. That like someone like Caprice, who's been excellent,
yeah,
isn't even close to being talked about.
Or like countless others.
Well, yeah, countless others.
Josh Key,
Archie Collins. Anyway, there it is. So the win on Saturday means that the league table looks like this: Forest Green, Exeter City, top 2, both played 40. Forest Green on 79. With plus 36 goals. Exeter City on 74 with plus 22. Port Vale are in 3rd. They've played 41. They're on 72 points. Then in 4th, Mansfield. They've played 40, same as City. They're on 69. Then Northampton, Bristol Rovers, Newport, Salford, Tranmere have all played 41. Northampton are 5th on 67, as are Bristol Rovers in 6th. Newport are 7th on 66. And Salford are 8th, just outside the playoffs, on 65. Then it's Tranmere, also on 65, slightly behind on goal difference.
Okay.
Swindon are kind of out of it now on 11th, although they're only on 62, but obviously that's now 4 points behind Newport, although they have got a game in hand.
I'd say there's still enough time for some of that to change, especially down the bottom end of the playoff places.
5 or 6 games to go.
And plenty of time to be changing at the top end too,
Well... Goodness me. I mean, that's a very healthy picture for Exeter City.
Yeah, it is. We've got to keep it game at a time, haven't we? Do you know what I mean?
We're 5 points clear of Mansfield in 4th.
Ticking them off.
Same amount of games.
Yeah.
And we've got a game in hand over 3rd. 2 points, who are 2 points behind us. And then looking up, there's 5 points on the same amount of games. Now, Forest Green have got significantly higher plus goal difference than us. So really they're equivalent of 6 points ahead.
They're very much favourites.
Very much favourites, but they got a tricky run in.
Yeah, they got to play Mansfield twice.
Mm.
Although we would have done one of them.
Nah, they done one? Can't keep up.
I don't know.
I only focus on Exeter City. But yeah, so that's where we are. And then, interestingly, Dan, we play on Friday, which we'll come on to in a minute, but we're the only team playing at 1 p.m. So anything gained means we'll, at least for a couple of hours, have drawn closer to Forest Green.
Okay. You put, yeah, I mean, we have to wait and see what happens first. I mean, but if we win, that.
If we get anything,
I like
obviously,
that.
It.
Yeah, I like the look of that picture. So yeah, Colchester United at St James Park, 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Don't miss it.
Good Friday.
Yes.
Easter treat. Sold out.
Sold out.
The whole thing is sold out.
They're trying to work out now with Colchester how many they're bringing.
Yeah.
As to whether they can split the away end.
Yeah. Presumably, some of those Colchester fans can't be bothered travelling down here on
Good Friday for lunchtime.
Yeah. They could be...
When they're in 20th. They're not going down.
Yeah. They could be having a little walk around, I don't know, some of the nice sights of Essex. Why not pop down to Southend and take a walk along the pier?
Sure. Go to your own... Have they got an amphitheatre in Colchester? I reckon they have. Go to your Roman amphitheatre.
Have they?
Yeah, I think so. Like a grass one.
Right, yeah. Well, if you have, go there, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm encouraging them not to go. Just come to the game if you want. It'd be better if there's away fans.
There'll be some.
Yeah.
But there won't be hundreds.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'd normally expect from Colchester. I can't remember. They obviously nicked the flag.
Nick the flag, yeah.
Yeah, but there weren't many.
I know, yeah, but not none.
Not
like Salford sort
so
of
how
style.
does it work with the away end? Because there's the gate in the middle, and are they saying you can put some home fans one side and some away fans the other side?
I guess so, yeah. I guess so.
Now, obviously, if you stood on the big bank and you're looking at the away end, the left-hand side of the gate's hardly any.
Yeah.
So is that...
It's a smaller bit, isn't it?
So they're going to put 50 away fans in there? I don't understand how it'll work.
No, I don't know. We'll see.
Or is it the last row of the seating and we get the whole away end?
Yeah, maybe that.
Maybe
they have Block L or whatever it's called.
Because obviously they're normal. There's always someone there. Well, that's always set aside for the away fans.
Yeah.
I don't know how many that seats. A few hundred.
I don't know.
Because that's always split, isn't it, by stewards? As in, like, the stewards always are there. There's always supporters from both teams in that bit. So they know how to do that, is what I'm saying.
Nah, that's always just away fans, that last
Yeah, that's
block,
what I mean.
It?
But I mean,
yeah.
They're in the IP.
Yeah.
So you could give the whole away end to City fans. What's the capacity down there?
I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah. If people want to come in...
It'd be better if Colchester filled it. I don't think it's the ideal situation is for the whole thing to be Exeter City fans.
Don't you?
No. You want to have you've got an opposition on the pitch. You want to have opposition fans.
But there'll be
too.
50 of them there.
No, I'm saying ideally, I'd want the whole thing.
You'd want
filled
1,000 people from Colchester.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's like something to be. We want everyone to support Exeter and be there.
No, but I think
Talk about an echo chamber.
But I'm just saying it's more of an echo amphitheatre, surely. I'm saying if you've got the capacity, if people want to come, who are Exeter City supporters, and you've got the capacity to move it around...
Well, here's the question. Are they Exeter City supporters?
Yeah.
To be a supporter, I'd suggest you probably have to support the team. I'm not saying I'm annoyed that people are coming, because obviously we've got other things, like the last game of the season, Port Vale at home, that's nearly sold out as well now. Like... and I'm not saying people... I'm not one of those people that, why are they coming now? You know, where were you when we were good? When we were shit, or whatever it was. Anyway, like... but, like, why... What's happening?
I think it's twofold, Dan. I think, although Good Friday's not officially a bank holiday, loads of people don't work on Good Friday.
Is it not?
No. But you get, like... So we get people who come on Saturday because they don't work on Saturdays, and we get people who come in the evening because they don't work on evenings.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
I think probably Good Friday is...
People got the day off.
Can do both.
Okay.
So I think that increases it by quite a lot. I also think Exeter City, like all football clubs that aren't fully season tickets, there are people who can come to some but not all, or just choose to come to some, not all. So, I'll come to that one because... or you just can't afford to come to all of them or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just think it kind of focuses the mind.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's.
I think that's
what it
probably
is.
what's going on.
Yeah,
And then also some people will be coming for the first time, and I think that's great. I think that might be the thing to, that maybe they'll come, maybe they'll buy their season ticket next.
absolutely, yeah, and we want to get.
We were aiming for the old
Towards-
Project 6,000.
Yeah,
aren't
yeah, we want to get towards higher attendances, don't we? But
What would it be like? It just struck me because it's never been a concern for any of us before. If we all, if we're all having to, if it's a struggle every week to get tickets, that's a big change for us, isn't it, as a football club?
yeah, because what's the capacity? About 7, is it?
Well, it used to be 8, just under 9. I don't know exactly what it is with everything. And then, of course, I think there's some COVID restrictions. Is that right?
I don't know. And most of the time, you're going to have to kind of give a decent amount. Like for Port Vale, they're going to
Yes.
want more tickets than Colchester.
Yes.
You have to give them
Yes.
a reasonable amount. You know what I mean?
So let's say the capacity is 8,000.
And we should want to too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we sell 1,000 tickets to them, or 800
Yeah,
or whatever,
alright.
10%. So that's the potential is that 7,200 people is the maximum Exeter crowd.
Yeah, and we get 5
We get
fairly
5.
often.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're not far off it being like quite difficult to get tickets all the time.
No. So then,
Although I don't think that'll happen. But
because if you go to, I can't even think where, a small ground where everyone wants to be there, I don't know, Anfield perhaps, or Goodison, are all those people season ticket holders pretty much? And they just keep a segment for people that can buy them?
I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works. Yeah, it's a new thing for us.
Yeah,
And then do we look at like expansion? Is that madness?
I don't know how you can really expand anymore.
Well, I suppose you do a different away end, don't you?
There's no more room for anything bigger than that, is there?
I don't know. Because there was talk of that being temporary, wasn't there?
Was there?
Hmm.
I don't think there's any space to make it much bigger.
And no, I don't know what you do. Because obviously Stansfield's brand new.
Well, they're going to want to move, aren't they?
No,
Let's
you
not
don't.
get bogged down in that conversation
No,
again.
right. I'm just wondering. It's just a curious thing.
No, yeah, it is.
Obviously, it's better because obviously you might next season it might be a relegation battle and you're back down to 2,500, 3,500. So
How many of these people know that we lost 3-1 to Colchester this season?
don't mention that.
I'm not expecting that to happen again. What the club are asking everyone to wear a red jumper or something?
Are they?
Yeah.
Should it be my, once a decade wearing of a City shirt to a game?
No,
Could be.
don't.
Huh?
That-
So, listeners, if you want to know what we look like, we'll be the only ones not wearing.
No,
red.
we won't, because loads of people don't.
I might wear my City shirt.
Well, you won't be standing with me. No, do what you want. Apparently,
Apparently, I
don't know.
can't do what I want, listeners.
Do whatever you like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't got an Exeter City shirt, and I don't know. I just like.
I'll lend you one.
I just wear whatever I normally wear on that day. I don't really sort of dress up for football.
Sometimes I wear a red T-shirt.
Right.
From red.
Yeah.
Red coat.
Yeah.
Big times ahead. So can we just boil down to the game? So Colchester, obviously, 2 seasons ago were playoff rivals. They've really fallen off a cliff.
Were they?
Well, we played them in
Yeah,
the
don't
playoffs,
remember
remember?
that.
The Bowmen.
Oh, of course. Was that them? Was that Carlisle?
No, it was Colchester in the pandemic playoffs.
Oh, right. Okay.
Do you remember? No one... We sent 100 cardboard cutouts to Colchester.
Okay. Oh,
Really
I
depressing game.
Forgot
Lost.
about the cardboard cutout.
Yeah. I don't. 'Cause there's one in my house. And then they came back to St James Park and Bowman scored the winner. And then, of course, the absolute drubbing at Wembley
Yeah. Well, I
in
remember
June
that.
or July of whatever that year was, 2020.
Yeah.
So that's Colchester. And then they fell off a cliff, sold some of their best players, loaned out some of their best players.
Got Tisdale in for an advisor for a bit.
Last year. Awara Edwards was there this year.
He's gone back
He's
now.
gone back because he's injured.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think they're in 20th now. They shouldn't go... I mean, they could, I think, mathematically go down, but it's looking unlikely. They're 8 points clear of Stevenage.
I feel like they said this a lot recently, but can we just batter them?
You have said that a lot recently.
Aren't we due to batter somebody?
Well, they got beaten by Stevenage.
We've been playing really well, but we've still only been sort of nicking games 1-0 and here and there, But I just feel like in front of all those people, just give them absolute pasting.
So their one
Matt J
player...
needs a goal, I've got a feeling.
So they got beaten by Stevenage at the weekend.
Wow.
2-0. Stevenage had 10 men for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Jamie Reid even scored, didn't he?
He did. Freddie Sears is their player.
He scored against us in the
Yeah.
away fixture.
No, he's never hit his expected heights, has he? We played him against him quite a lot because he was there. He was played against us for Ipswich.
I feel
once.
like we are always playing against Freddie Sears.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always like, "Oh, Freddie Sears."
Yeah, well, he's not been any good.
Remember him
But
because he
then
played
did
one
score.
match for West Ham or something in like about 2007.
Yeah. And then they've got John Akinde.
Yes.
So both those players can score. So you're absolutely right. We just want to start on the front foot.
Yeah.
We want to be 2-0 up at half-time, please.
I want it to be a great Friday.
You want it to be literally a festival atmosphere.
Yeah.
Can we do it? Can we make that happen? Well, we've made it happen every other week. So I feel very optimistic.
I'm optimistic we can make it happen. But what I'd like is for us to just cruise it. You know?
The old Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise it, yeah. In celebration of the new Top Gun movie coming out.
And
nice
then,
tie-in.
Yeah, good. Is there a new Top Gun film coming out?
Yeah.
And he's in it?
He's in it, yeah.
Oh, good grief.
And Goose's son, I believe.
Oh, good Lord.
Not a fan of Top Gun?
Yeah, I like the original.
Right, yeah.
In 1986.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
And then, Easter Monday, we go to not Brunton Park, but Prenton Park.
Yep.
Tranmere.
Tranmere away.
Obviously, another chance to see someone's backside sticking out of a hedge at that services again, presumably.
Yeah, stop at a different one.
Stop at a different one. Tranmere, of course, are promotion rivals. They dropped off a bit. They currently sit in 9th, like I said. Obviously, they're going to be pushing for playoffs, and it's very tight for them.
Yep. That's going to be a very difficult game. That's why I think it's so important to win this.
They've not been in great form. They've done a lot of draws.
Right. I'd take a draw.
I'd take a draw. So they've drawn with Bristol
If we
Rovers.
beat Colchester, I'd take a draw.
Absolutely. They've drawn with Bristol Rovers. They've drawn with Carlisle. They lost to Colchester. They've drawn with Sutton. They've beaten Mansfield and Harrogate. They lost to Northampton. They lost to Newport. So,
Bit up and down then.
Bit up and down then, Dan.
Okay.
I guess... I mean, a draw would be... Absolutely. We've said it about all these away games, haven't we? Newport, Port Vale.
Well, maybe.
Carlisle.
Yeah, on paper, yes. But what if we draw against Colchester on Friday?
I still think we've done ourselves enough of a...
Yeah, maybe then a Tranmere still a draw, but it just puts more pressure on it. That's why a win is so... I think the Colchester game's really important. I think Tranmere actually probably, if we do manage to get another win, depending on other results around us, Tranmere might not be that important, you know.
Yeah. So they're kind of players. They've got Mickey Maynard, of course.
Kevin Francis.
If only. John Aldridge. They've got Jay Spearing, of course, who's a bit of a thorn in our side.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Foley. Callum McManaman, who got sent off against City at St James Park.
Yeah.
Was he Wigan? Was he a Wigan player when they won the Cup and then got relegated? I think he was.
Was that him, was it?
Yeah. Anyway, obviously, win against Colchester. That really... This is what we've done since Christmas, really, is taken the pressure off the next game by getting the points. You know, it's been amazing to see him do it.
Have we done that?
Yeah.
We've definitely been doing that recently, haven't we?
Let me give you some stats, Dan.
What we've been doing is winning the ones that we could have happily drawn.
Yeah.
Newport away. Saturday just gone. Carlisle away.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us would have taken draws in those matches.
Can I give you the stats for this year? So you might recall December was bad for us. And in fact, some of these teams we're playing now, like Tranmere and Colchester, that's when those losses or draws happened.
Yeah. Losses.
Yeah. In 2022, we played 19. We've only lost 2, Sutton and Mansfield away.
Also, Sutton was on New Year's Day as well, wasn't it? So that's like, does that count? I mean, yes, it does count, but like, should it?
How does one define years? I mean,
if it suits your narrative, can you just chop off the first or the last game of the year?
I don't know. What
you
is
can do whatever
truth?
you like.
We've played 19. We've lost 2, those 2. We've only drawn 5, and then we've won 12.
Yeah.
What a record that is.
Very good.
So to give you the maths very quickly, he does it in his head, that is 41 points from 19 games.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or not because I'm so bad at maths.
Well, they say that 2 points per game
is
absolute promotion.
Right.
So we're ahead of that.
Ugh.
6 games to go.
It doesn't seem to be getting that number. Doesn't seem to be getting any lower.
Well,
When's
in a
it
week,
going to be 5 games to go? I know the answer to this. Saturday, Friday afternoon, but it just seems like always like I thought it was 6 games like 2 weeks ago. It just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I don't know if you think, am I stuck in? Am I dead and I'm in some sort of weird purgatory where this season never ends and I've got this sort of weird kind of hope that something's going to happen and it never does, like like the
what we've
Truman
not
Show
done,
or something.
neither have Forest Green actually. We've not been runaway successes, have we? So, or rather, the chasing pack is enormous. I suppose that's the truth.
Well,
of it.
I mean, I guess that maybe it's rare to be a kind of out and out runaway success because Forest Green really kind of have been, and they've dropped a bit recently. They're still top of the league, I think. And then we had our bad month, but other than that,
there's obviously a lot of teams in the bottom half that have given away a lot of points. So that from 14th to 24th, none of them have got 50 points. Like there's a lot of teams on 40 something.
well, there's a lot of shit teams in this
Well,
division.
yeah,
isn't
but
there?
I suppose that's what's happened is the top 10 teams have taken a lot of points off the bottom 14.
Yeah.
Whereas normally, I suppose the top 5 teams take a lot of points off the bottom 9. It's that kind of going on. Anyway, it's 6 to go. Obviously, in a week's time, there'll only be 4 to go.
Yeah, that's true. Next time we talk, it'll be 4, and
things could look a lot different then.
then that does feel like we're getting towards the end for.
I just hope it's then not too late to recover the form.
I can't look into all the possible narratives because I just can't do it because it's to like. If you start looking at these worst case scenario ones, it suddenly gets really stressful. Already, I'm thinking like I've got to buy a ticket for this and
Well, that's
and
the other
that,
thing, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
that, and I've sort of already had to get one for Port Vale at home,
Yeah.
which is ages away.
And you're going to Northampton away.
I'm going to Northampton. I've got to I might by this time in a few days might have to buy tickets for like Barrow and the other home game, Rochdale, whoever that is.
Yeah.
And I'm used to I'll be honest, just turning up on the day and just paying on the gate, and like suddenly it's sort of like, yeah. Anyway,
Absolutely
gonna be-
massive time.
it's going to be fun on Friday, isn't it? Absolutely packed the park. First sold out match I can remember in a long time.
Yeah. I've got my
Probably
socks,
since, I don't know.
shorts and Exeter City shirt ready to wear and boots.
Yeah, have fun in the
Kids section.
kids section there.
Got a jester's hat, red and white to wear.
One of those clackers.
Oh, yeah. And I've bought a blow-up doll to put an away shirt on.
Well, one more fan for them, I suppose. Why
Anyway,
not bring your cardboard cutout with you?
I could bring my own cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
Good
Does he
idea.
need a ticket?
Don't know. He's usually a bit flat about Exeter City.
Yeah. Is it still in good nick, or is it sort
Yeah.
of all like your kids haven't like punched it to death or anything?
No, honestly, this is true. My daughter keeps it in her
It's treated
bedroom.
better than you.
Yes, basically, she keeps it in her bedroom because she likes having it there.
Well, okay, that's something, isn't it? That's nice.
I'm not sure. It's a bit weird. Anyway,
I wouldn't have wanted I mean, nothing against my dad, top bloke, but I wouldn't have wanted a cardboard cutout of him in my room as a child.
No.
I would have thought he was sort of, watching me when I'm supposed to be going to sleep.
It's a bit like that. You remember they used to have those cardboard cutouts of coppers at Trago Mills' door?
Yeah. Well, we've been used to. I mean, I haven't been to Traeger Mills for a while, but they definitely still got that. They've got one in Morrison's as well.
Have they?
Yeah.
Didn't know you were Morrison.
So it's supposed to trick shoplifters into thinking there's a policeman sort of stood on the door.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, how stupid do you have to be? One, to not realise that something's a picture and not a live human being, but also to think there would be in this day and age, 2022, that they've got the money and resources to have an on-duty uniformed police officer guarding the door of a parochial supermarket chain and an absolute abomination of a discount, weird shopping village, whatever the hell Trago Mills is.
Yeah. Brexiteer nightmare. Yeah, but I think what's going on there is you don't think like, oh, there's a copper. You think, oh, hold on, I signed up to the social contract, which is essentially I will abide by the law and expect others to do so. That policeman there is a physical reminder of my binding.
I think if you're of that kind of thought process already,
Yeah.
you don't need a fake policeman to remind you of that, and kind of like redirect your moral compass. Do you mean?
No, right.
I think you probably already think, I wasn't gonna nick anything.
Anyway, this podcast took a surprising turn into Rousseau territory, which I enjoyed.
Who's Rousseau?
You know, he was the
Philosopher,
philosopher who
is he?
thought about social contractual
Okay,
obligation.
fair enough. Yeah.
He also said, and this is a direct quote, Trago Mills, what an absolute crap hole.
Yeah. It really is bad there.
Oh, and I used to get dragged there as a child often, and then I'd go to my grandparents' house and get taken to the one in Liscard instead for like a holiday treat.
Well, there's another one, is there?
Oh, there's loads.
Remember when it burnt down? That was a good
Falmouth.
day.
Yeah, he burnt it down himself, of course. Not proven, listeners.
Right, but
to be
almost
sued.
certainly.
I mean,
Might well have done.
might well have done. If you're listening, Trago Mills owner, I stand by my accusation. Yeah, Falmouth and Liscard are the other ones. The Falmouth one's insane.
Is it?
It's absolute prime real estate down Falmouth Harbour. And you've got like all these really brilliant Falmouth shops. And then literally someone's thrown up a load of retail.
Wow. Come on, Falmouth people. You know what to do. Boxer matches, about 12p.
I think he knows what to do himself. Anyway, this is the end of the slanderous edition of the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I've been here with
Hang on. What you do is you just say at the end, remember, this is comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
You can't take this seriously.
Can't take this seriously.
It's comedy.
Watch it burn.
I think calling it comedy is probably the most slanderous thing we've done.
And that proves it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.